And try it again on the offensive end. Again, it's Brady Essig. He's the senior wide receiver on the kick return duties. He's also the holder. So a plethora of special teams options for that particular Gustie.
I love Anthony Vo, and I love that they get these starters out there on special teams too. And I used to hate that as a high school player. I'm like, come on, I'm a starting defensive lineman. Why do I got to do the special teams too? But the guys who are willing and able to do that.
So we got a flag down on the 18. That's going to send the Gusties back a little bit further here.
And I think what happened is that Anthony Vo actually blew up his block so much that the guy tried to grab a hold of him, and it helped to miss the tackle, but they called it on him anyway. But him pursuing that, he didn't get the tackle, but he altered the course of that, and he got the holding call. I was really impressed with him on that play.
And the flag is a spot foul, and the flag was enforced at the 19. So Gustavus, after what looked like a good kick return from Essig, was to be set up at the 33. But hold everything. Pump the brakes, put him back at the 9. So it's Gustavus on the offensive front for the second time here in the second half. Got a field goal in their first drive to extend then the lead to 51. It's now at 44 at 51-7. This is Essig in motion. It's a handoff, and it's a ground play. This is Condi again. He's got one more man to beat. Thankfully wrapping him up and dropping him just across the 30 for the College of St. Scholastica. That's a good play. Touchdown saving potentially by Tragan Adams, jersey number 29. Otherwise, we were going to see Condi off to the races.
Condi's been very impressive, and the backfield has been successful, but, you think the main guy is going to be Peel. And it's actually been Condi from the early goings.
Well, and to be honest, the first half leading rusher was our athletic and fast quarterback, Mr. Breitbach, with 69 yards in the first half on the ground. A net of 63, as he also had a carry for -6.
Yep.
But he was averaging 15.8 a carry. And as a team, Gustie's first half averaged over 8. Shotgun snap and a play fake. Look out, Tandrell Foster had him, but he couldn't get him, and he gets the pass off for Sindelier. Sindelier, the tight end, is going to reach the 34. The line of scrimmage had been the 30, so it's a gain of 4. That could have been a monstrous sack by Tandrell Foster, who, as Connor mentioned, is down and writhing in pain at about the 19.
That's one where you just... he had him dead to rights.
Yeah.
I thought for sure he was going to have him. Hufendick
looked like a little broken play. Hufendick kind of faked to nobody and then panicked because Tandrell Foster was right in his lap, but eluded him and got the pass away.
Yeah, and now worst case scenario, not even getting the sack, but now he's down and in some obvious pain. It looked like he was clutching at his left or right shoulder. But that senior leadership, he's one of their best defensive linemen. Yeah, this is just a situation, especially in a half like this, where just miserable to see for him.
Had some injury trouble a couple of years ago as well. Of course, last season, no season at all for this program. But Tandrell Foster, all kinds of talent, difficulty staying healthy. And we'll see what the situation is now as well. We got a player still down, but he's now sitting up again. We'll see how long it'll be till he gets to his feet. And ask and you shall receive.
I'm happy to see him using both his arms. I thought it was a shoulder injury. Sometimes you get those AC joints. He's pointing towards his right shoulder, but he used it to push up. So a little limp there on that right
Well, and
arm.
I'll say this. I usually panic when I see the head coach, as I saw Hef go out there.
Mm-hmm.
But he went out there, checked, and walked away again. I thought either A, that's major disgruntled if you're Hef and he's dealing with a tragic situation, or he went, oh, you're fine. And it turned out to be the latter.
Yeah, I think so too. So hopefully we'll see him get back out there. He's
there
going
will
to
be
the blue tent.
3 wide for the Gusties here and a back as well. It is second down at about 6. Sling it out. There's Essig, and that's a nice open field tackle.
It's the same guy.
This is going to be a loss of maybe 1. And it looked like, again, Tragan Adams stepping up and making a play for CSS.
Yeah, I see him on the 2 deep here from St. Paul, Minnesota, Roseville High School. Just a freshman, but I remember him in the Augsburg game. He made a couple good plays from that free safety position, not just in coverage, but mainly as an undersized tackler in the run game. That's where I've been most impressed with him, filling those holes. Now, I think that he could actually improve on his coverage potential, but I love seeing a safety filling on the run. After that, you can really teach a lot.
They officially call it no gain, so it's 3rd down and 6. Here's a throw on the run, and that's going to be caught, and a move for a first down. Essig on the receiving end, jersey number 17, and Hufendick on the completion.
Yeah, he was so close to the sideline. He made that catch and made a move. I was almost going to say that it might have been incomplete, but I thought for sure he stepped out and they'd just mark him out there, but had enough to pick up the first down. So Again, I was going to say earlier when they start at the 9, well, that just gives them longer to drive, right?
Well, and here they go. They've gotten from the 9 to their own 44, 35 yards into this drive. 1st and 10, Gustavus leading now 51-7. They led 48-0 at the break. Brian Prudhomme, Connor Gray here at Molosky Stadium on the campus of UMD. Shotgun snap. There's a handoff. There's Condi in space again. Knifing up the middle into Saints territory, down around the 46. 1st and 10, he got 10.5. Going to be first down for the Gusties.
That's 3 straight tackles for Tragan Adams. He's been called upon a lot, and whenever it gets to that third level, you're the last line of defense, and I think that Condi wouldn't have had much further to go there. But Adams to step up and make a tackle on who's a big power back. Condi's got nice size, and he's already ran over a couple of defenders. Just impressed, whenever we can shed light on a couple players in particular. He's one of them. And I say shed light, it's getting dark here real quick.
It is. I was going to say, it was a beautiful afternoon, especially at kickoff. Things have certainly clouded over here at Molosky Stadium. The lights are on as well. And this is Condi on the carry again. Lots of room into the second level. 30, 25. Breaks the tackle down to the 20. Tragan Adams tripped him up. But there's the positive and the negative. Great tackling day for Tragan Adams here in the second half. Problem is, on run plays, when a defensive back is making too many stops, they're getting chunk plays, and they are down to the Saints 20.
Yeah, and we kind of talked about it jokingly, but Saints are looking for positives. We're looking for positives and stuff to talk about as well. And I think that this drive has been Tragan Adams, and that's a tough tackle to make. It was a shoestring grab. He jumped at the right time. I was ready to say his name because I saw him in position, and that's all you're looking for here, but we need a stop.
1st and 10, Gustavus at the Saints 20. They go to the well again. That well is Condi, and you might as well because he's twisting and turning down inside the 10. He's going to set up 1st and goal.
And up to over 100 yards on the game for Condi. I really want to look into a little more research on him and see how much of a facet he's been in the past, because you got to imagine he's going to be a big one going forward. I mean, he's been just fantastic. He's got the perfect build that you want for a running back. He's had no problem not only making agile moves, but putting the boom down. And I think that he's making an argument to be the 1A option in the backfield.
I was going to say, Condi not even listed on the 2 deep at running back, but that's because he's behind 2 seniors there. Mm-hmm. He's just a sophomore, and he has an imprint all over this football game. Here he goes again, down inside the 5, pushing a pile, bowling over a defender. Gets close to the 2. It'll be 2nd and goal from right there for Gustavus. So again, Condi, the workhorse back on this drive. And again, the ground game for Gustavus, you can talk about Thielen, you can talk about Peel, you can talk about Condi, you can throw Durham into the mix. You carry it, you have success today.
Yeah, it's been success all over the stat sheet, all over the roster. We'll see what they try and do here. I'd imagine that they just continue to push Condi up the middle behind what's been a great offensive line, but there's going to be a timeout here.
Timeout taken by the Saints defensively here on 2nd and goal. Looks like the line of scrimmage officially is the 3. 7-3 the score if you just count the second half in favor of CSS. Problem is 48-0. 48-0 in the first half in favor of Gustavus. Now, I don't think at this level that the coaches simplify it that much. But if you do talk about small victories, winning a half on a scoreboard isn't a bad place to start if you're Mike Heffernan.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about the game within the game and quarter-by-quarter disparity. And a half here is not going to do much. I'm not even looking at the score really anymore. I'm looking at the yardage, the individual player performances. I'm looking at what each person needs to improve on in their own aspect. If someone's having a great, pass protection game, but they're not doing much in the run side of things, well, then that's what we look at. I don't think that there's any need to look at the stats. You can explain the game with just a glance. I wouldn't have needed the stats to know that Gustavus has a lot of running yards and Saints don't have a lot of yards.
Right.
I probably could have guessed that. In fact, I wasn't surprised by how many they had.
One thing I did want to say but don't want to say because I don't want to jinx anything, but my broadcast friend Anthony LaPanta will tell me that jinxes aren't real. Mm-hmm. One thing the ground game in this particular quarter has done is kept this third quarter clock on the move.
Yeah, it has, and I don't think they have running time in college football, but part of the way to make running time is just run the ball, which they're going to do here.
And I was going to say, different definition of running time. This one is running into the end zone, courtesy of Condi. Gustavus is on the board again, and 51-7 has now become 57-7, extra point pending.
Go back to the bread and butter of Condi, who I think deserved that touchdown. He got him all the way down there. Is that his first or second of the day? I think he might have got in earlier, but everyone's probably gotten in.
I believe that is his first one. We've got Thielen with 2, Peel with 2, Sondelier with the first one, Breitbach on the keeper, and then our boy Zach Jakes, defensive lineman turned wide receiver for a touchdown. And it's Brady Miller again in the kicking game this time. We've seen 2 kickers for Gustavus, and this one's good. It's 58-7. So 2 and change to go in this third quarter, 58-7 in favor of Gustavus with the lead in the ball. 30-yard line will be the line of scrimmage for Gustavus.
And keep an eye on number 34, just re-entered. That's Riverwood. First carry of the game, he fumbled. First carry he was in, so he's going to get it here and takes it out on the left sideline, makes a move, and he's already made up for his early gaffe as he's past the midline.
45, midfield, and down around the 45. Asking you shall receive.
Sorry,
get in the carry and doing well. That's all right. You can be multifaceted all you want.
Yeah.
So again, the Gustavus offense just continues to make noise on the ground in particular.
Yeah, number 34, just like I mentioned, Riverwood, he got his chance to redeem himself. It was the same play, and he was able to juke out of the last containment on the defensive side for the Saints. So it was a great move, and then managed to get about a 35-yard scamper. Fendix back there. He gives it over to Riverwood on the right side, who isn't able to break this tackle. Oh, he gets back up, and they're going to call him down after about a gain of 3.
And the line of scrimmage for Gustavus is going to be the CSS 41, as again the ground game continues for Gustavus. Choose up the clock, under 2 minutes to go in this third quarter, 58-7. It's the Gusties with the lead in the ball, again penetrating into CSS territory, as they've done regularly throughout the day. Couple of wide receivers, shotgun snap coming to Hugh Fendick again. And there's your guy. You talked about him in the backfield getting some opportunity, but he has that ball security issues. You saw the Saints defense going forward again, but he knifed down to about the 36, 37-yard line of the Saints.
I've just loved the way that all these running backs have ran for the Gusties. They all come in and they have intentions to leave the last hit, right? So not only are they making good moves, and they're all kind of power backs, even though some are listed at above 200 pounds, some are around 180, but they're lowering the boom when they're not going to go down and fall the other way. They're all falling forward. That's no different for Riverwood here, who's done a nice job.
So again, it's 1st and 10. Gustavus, line of scrimmage to 37. They go right back to Riverwood, and he's going to plow his way across the 30 down to about the 29. That's more than enough for a first down on third down. And it keeps that clock churning here in the third quarter as we're under a minute, right on cue. The officials tell us to wind the clock, but now they're going to have to stop it again because we've got a quick injury stoppage and having to come off the field for Gustavus.
That's their good blocking tight end, right?
That's Hunter Obert, number 48, who we saw make a reception in the early goings of this football game. Sondelier and Obert, both tight ends, have certainly been involved in this football game, as again it's another 1st and 10 for Gustavus down around the CSS 29. 58-7, Gustavus leads. Brian Prudhomme, Connor Gray here at Molosky Stadium in Duluth. This is Ufendick rolling out, and he's going to fire, and that's going to be caught and being mauled out of bounds at around the 22 for Gustavus. Jersey number 11, Zachary Forbrook, another senior out of Mankato East. And that will bring us to the end of the third quarter. And Gustavus will be on the move when we start the fourth. And they've been on the move most of the day. It's a 10-point third quarter for Gustavus. St. Scholastica got their first 7 of the day. And it is 58-7 in favor of Gustavus. We're done with 3 quarters. Stick around for the fourth. It's St. Sportsnet.
I'm Dr. Kenji Sudo.
I'm Dr. Shane Maxwell, orthopedics and sports medicine physicians at Essentia Health.
And team physicians for the St. Scholastica Saints. At Essentia Health, we provide outstanding care for St. Scholastica student athletes whenever they need us, before, during, and after practices and games.
Essentia Health is proud to provide expert orthopedics and sports medicine care for Saints athletics and more than 25,000 student athletes in our community.
And we're back here at Molosky Stadium in Duluth. Start of the fourth quarter. Gustavus up 51, 58-7. Shotgun snap for the Gusties as they continue on the drive that now penetrates the red zone with Riverwood. Spinning down, line of scrimmage had been the 22. He gets down to about the 19. That's exactly what he needed on 2nd and 3 for the first down. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Gustavus.
Major who was your favorite name?
Major Martin.
Major
Riverwood
Martin.
is right there.
Riverwood's right there.
That's a TV series, isn't it?
I don't know, but that's Riverdale.
That's okay. I knew it was something.
But it's very nature.
See, I'm old enough where I preferred River Phoenix back in the day.
Oh, okay. I actually know that. So
there you go.
You must not be too much older than me.
Well, let's not get into that. I announced your games in high school, so let's see. Are our ages palindrome? Are you 24 and I'm 42?
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Is that actually correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, that was a complete guess, but I think that's actually correct. Fendick on the throw, and it's caught by his tight end. The first touchdown of the day went to Sindelier, and he's got another catch here, and he's down around the 14 of CSS.
Leading receiver, I don't think in yardage, although that might make him close, as Kipper has 52 yards. Sindelier had 49 on the day, but he's got the most receptions on the team. So been a nice performance for the tight end, who I think has had a lot of success this year. But they mainly want to use those tight ends for blocking. Sindelier a little bit more prone to being a pass catcher. He took a tough hit there, so glad to see he got up all right.
Gain of 5 makes it 2nd and 5. Gustavus at the CSS 14. And Riverwood is going to get another carry. Good move to twist inside the 10, down to about the 9. He's right at the sticks. Should be 1st and goal.
Man, and just so close to making a big play was number 44, who's Mac Nelson. And he's been so close a lot of times. That guy has a great motor. He bursts through the backfield. He's usually the guy that they like to use blitz in because he does have that anticipation and that quick burst getting through the line. But one thing that he's got to work on is just finishing those plays. He always comes so close, but he's running so fast that he just runs by him. He would have had a tackle for loss there. So nice pursuit, just got to finish it out.
1st and goal, Gustavus, line of scrimmage, the CSS 9. Shotgun snap will be coming again. Riverwood's been busy. He gets it again. High-stepping his way across the 5, pushing defenders to the 2-1. Touchdown, Riverwood and Gustavus. Man. So 58-7 will now become 64-7. Extra point pending. You talk about math, adding up the scores is getting more and more difficult.
What was I talking about with these running backs that just they don't go down? And Riverwood is not a big back by any means. He's 5'8", he's 160 pounds listed. I'm guessing he's a little bit bigger than that after a year or so in the weight room. But he powered his way through. He was stood up, at the 3-yard line and continued to move his legs, and he was rewarded with a touchdown. Good for him.
So it'll be a Beglin once again on the kicking duties. We've seen Brady Miller do this a couple times as well, but the extra point this time is up, and it sails through, and we're at 65-7.
Did you see Coach Staniger out there trying to make that catch? He's still making his way around the...
Oh, boy.
He probably pulled something there.
And making Gustavus, at least in the most part, go the length of the field has been a moral victory, as much as we don't like those this afternoon as well.
Yeah, the moral victory I guess I'd take is just one clean stop, one clean 3 and out. We haven't had that yet. You pinned them deep last time. They started from the 9-yard line and still drove the length of the field. That's what I'm looking for here is just the opportunity to, have a clean 3 and out.
So it's 1st and 10 for Gustavus again. Line of scrimmage is their own 22. We got a flag on the snap.
That'll help.
And it should make 1st and 10 into 1st and 15.
And new quarterback, new running back, and of course that's tough to come in and now there's a pre-snap penalty, as I think it's basically all new linemen as well.
You mentioned new quarterback, and that's interesting because unless my eyes deceive me, which let's be honest, they have before today, but we had a 9 out there at one point.
I think it's number 8.
Now that jersey looks like an 8, but take a look at your roster. Tell me which one that might be. Meanwhile, a swing pass is complete, and it's number 20 for Gustavus reaching the 20. And that's Barry Richards, a freshman running back. So there is a jersey number 8 now in at quarterback for Gustavus. We are given Peyton Simon and Brett Hufendick, the other Hufendick. We're going to go with him in at quarterback, I think.
It could be. I mean, it runs in the family, so maybe he just has a chance now to back up his brother. It could be that the number 9 jersey is really tucked in, but I think it's pretty clearly an 8.
Well, the good news is if it is the 9 tucked in or if it is the 8, which I believe it is, it's Hufendick either way.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Cut your losses on that one. Meanwhile, shotgun snap and a handoff. And this is a brand new ball carrier once again.
John Diaz.
That's going to be, I'm going to go with Kieran Drawdy. We've got a duplicate 24. One is a running back, one is a defensive back.
Okay, you can have that one.
So I'm going to go with the freshman out of Queen City, Texas, Kieran Drawdy, on the carry. He got maybe a yard, and it's third down. So a little bit off the rails here, but we talked about this. Gustavus has, to be completely honest with you in a visual sense, duplicate numbers all the way from jersey number 1. I think the last one I see, we talked about 251s. There's 255s. So I would say almost two-thirds of the roster has a duplicate jersey in some capacity. And oftentimes you'll talk about, yeah, but so-and-so doesn't play. Well, we've got a 51-point game, and everybody's part of it today.
Yep.
As a pass is fired and caught. And that's Zachary Forbrook, the senior wide receiver out of Mankato. Second time we've called his name today. He's got a first down out to about the 38 of Gustavus.
And you have such a solid crop of wide receivers. When you can go that deep and have, senior wide receivers that are still contributing to the program, still contributing on what to do in that wide receiver room. We talked about it with Augsburg because they were so senior-laden, but their sophomores were really the studs. I think it's similar here. So you have the sophomore starter in number 0, Matthew Kipper, but everyone contributing to his success is right there on the field now.
Talk about talented wide receivers. There's 4 wide here for Gustavus here. First and 10 at their own 38. Hugh Fendick back to throw. He fires. There's Richards. He caught it across the 35, across the 40, 45 midfield, and he's going to run out of bounds down around the CSS 45. So
Yep.
Barry Richards, the freshman, he's out of White Castle. No, not the restaurant, out of the city in Louisiana.
And Forbrook did a nice job. He had a tough challenge there blocking an incoming Hayden Anderson, number 7 for the Saints. It could have possibly been called, but I think that he did a nice job of taking Anderson's momentum with him and taking him down on that screen pass there because it would have been a loss. But instead, number 20 is able to catch it, and Barry Richards made his way down for about a 25-yard gain.
And it's 65-7. Gustavus up by 58. Scored so frequently today, I think I lost track of one when I referenced the margin earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Shotgun snap and a handoff. There's Drawdy again. He's across the CSS 45, down close to the 42. So I mentioned in a game that's this lopsided, you got everybody involved. I talked about 51. We got a 58-point game. All the more roster invites after that.
Yeah, and that's where the difference is this new line for Gustavus is coming in. They're fully refreshed. They're jacked to come out and play. Now, we still have our first line out there, but it's been a whole game of just kind of getting beaten down and mentally beat, and they need to have a stop here. They need to get some good mojo going, and especially against this group, it's their time to shine, so I'm hoping for a big play here.
Line of scrimmage is the CSS 42. Gustavus needs the 35 to continue the drive, and this is Drawdy again seeking that first down marker. He won't be anywhere near it. He's a good 2.5 yards short.
So that's going to be 3rd and 3, and we're going to get that nice clean 3rd and out. And they can kind of do whatever they want here as far as a playbook. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they just stick to the run game, keep pounding that rock. But they've shown that no matter what quarterback's in, they still have a propensity to pass and do it with success.
So, again, it's the Gustavus offense. We talked about time of possession was shockingly even in half number 1. I don't think in half number 2 it's going to be close. And, again, it's Ufendick checking with the sidelines.
6 seconds on the play clock here, so he's going to have to hurry up as it's under 3 now.
And the shotgun snap is to him. There's Drawdy again, seeking that first down again, and this time he's got it inside the 35, down close to the 34. And it's going to be a first down in CSS territory once again for Gustavus. As again, they lead 65-7. It was a 48-0 football game at the half. And the time of possession really spread out after 3 quarters, as the time of possession almost double for Gustavus compared to CSS for the game. And again, most of that margin creating separation in quarter number 3. 34-yard line of CSS for Gustavus. Shotgun snap, Ufendick once again. He has 4 wide. Fakes a handoff. Now goes ahead and sets up a screen. There's Drawdy. Shed 1 tackle. Now he's got a bit of a convoy in front of him. He lowers the boom, and he goes out of bounds right around the 22 of CSS. Should be enough for another first down for the Gusties. Interesting design, but well-designed screen pass from Gustavus.
Yeah, and I think it was actually a missed block there because Anthony Vo was right there with the opportunity to tackle in the backfield, and Drawdy just had a burst of speed. Wasn't able to contain him. But this is the 5th or 6th running back we've seen, and they all just put their head down at the end and lower the boom. I mean, I just imagine one of them are the kind of back that maybe steps out before that hit or tries to back
Maybe we
off.
saw it on the one pass to Richards. He's the only one that made a beeline for the sidelines, but he's about the 7th running back we've seen today.
Yeah, I mean, which is a great commonality to have in a running back room. I mean, it's tough because then you run into the injury dilemma, especially if all the running backs that you have are the kind that want and crave that contact. But I think I'd much rather have that than have a bunch of running backs who, you teach them maybe to brace for that or not fall forward. And I guess there's positives and negatives to everything. But I've been impressed with the way this running group has finished most of their runs.
So 65-7 in favor of Gustavus. Again, the second half scoring is much tighter, 17-7 Gusties. This game was put away in the first half, 48-0 margin at halftime.
Oh, first quarter, I'd say.
Well, that
28-0.
Right. And it was video game type offense, 4 touches, 4 scores basically for Gustavus. They did have the early interception.
Mm-hmm. And that's the part in Madden, like you talk about, that I sim to the end.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Shotgun snap coming, man in motion. It's Richards. They give it to him on a bit of an end around. He cuts it back inside, down inside the 15, all the way down to the 10. He's going to pick up another first down. The chains just keep moving for the Gusties here this afternoon.
Mm-hmm. And that's the first kind of jet sweep that I think we've seen where they actually hand it off to the running back in motion. So they've saved that one for most of the game.
Interesting improvisation, though. You usually think of a jet sweep going around the corner. He cut that back inside awfully quick. Had a lot of real estate there.
Yeah, and there's been real estate all over the field.
Right.
I wish I could pick a place that hasn't been, easily penetrated on the Saints defense, but it seems like they can kind of go wherever they want to. I wouldn't be surprised if they go to the wide side of the field on the left here. Maybe take a shot at number 11, going to the corner of the end zone.
They've got a first and goal right at the 10. Instead, they hand it off to Richards,
Same
sprinting
play.
far side. He's going to get in the end zone. Same play. It's basically when you hit the flip button on Madden, if you will. Run it to the other side. They did. Touchdown Gusties.
Yeah, and that's another running back who's managed to get in the end zone, so everyone getting a taste of it today. And now what's going to be possibly a 72-7 game. You don't see that spread very much. It's been a while, and sometimes it's a lesson that has to be learned. Although I think that the Saints have done a good job of taking and licking their wounds and kind of moving on, but this is a different kind of beating. This is one that you're going to remember for at least the rest of the season, if not your career, and you never want to feel this again.
So the extra point, and it is going to be booted this time by Brady Miller again as the platoon job of kicking continues to have success. This is up and good, and it is 72-7.